What's going on, guys? United Gaming back with another MLB The Show 20 video. And in today's video, we're going to be counting down the top 10 relief pitchers in MLB The Show 20. Now, changed my mind. I think the relievers were actually better than the starters this year. The starting pitching was just not good this year, but some of the relievers on this list were just locked down so good. So they have to be included. And, I mean, bullpen, maybe you could make the argument that their relievers are better than the starters this year. I don't know. I just feel like every big run-scoring game I played, ever since the bullpen started to come into the play in that game, the runs started to slow down. So maybe that's just my personal experience from playing an all-star bunch. I don't know. But anyway, let's hop right into number 10. At number 10, I got 99 overall Devin Williams, the Milwaukee Brewers' finest card. Now, I think this card is one of the best relievers in this game, and that proves how good the relief pitching is in MLB The Show 20. That a card as good as this is at number 10. So, anyway, let's go over the stats. Max out hits in case per nine, max out velo and break, and max out pitching clutch. The control is pretty good, and the home runs per nine are, of course, incredible with pretty good stamina. Pitch mix, changeup, four-seamer, cutter basically works as a slider, sinker, and screwball. Very good pitch mix, and I personally have had great success with him. 13 innings, 2 ERA, and how many earned runs, if I can find it, 3. He's been locked down for me. He's been very good, and this is one of my favorite cards in the entire game, and he's coming in at number 10. At number 9, we got Prime Andrew Miller. Now, this card is part of the 10th inning boss pack. This is some people might call me a little bit crazy for putting this card this high, but I do feel like if you know how to use it correctly, he's one of the most effective relievers in the game. 122 hits per 9, max out Ks per 9, max out pitching clutch. Better control than Williams, lower home runs per 9, but the same velo and break as they're maxed out. Personally, I haven't used him as much and not have great success, but the key is going to have to be, this is going to be more of a lefty specialist type of pitcher. If you use the sinker and the slider and the fastball very well against lefties, he's going to be dominant. It's much harder to pitch to this guy with righties, as you can see, batting average here, better against righties and lefties. It's very different, as you can see. But yeah, I mean, this Andrew Miller is an obviously good card, one of the best lefties in the entire game. And I feel like if there wasn't the 3-batter minimum rule, he would be even better as a lefty specialist to come in and get a big out against lefty when you need him. So that's why he's going to come in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we got another Milwaukee Brewer in the form of Raleigh Fingers. This guy was so dominant for so long, and that's why he deserves a place on today's list. Great stamina. He can give you at least 2 innings. Pretty good hits and Ks per 9s. Very good control. Good home runs per 9s. Great pitching clutch. And pretty good velo and break. Those sinker, slider, forkball, and four-seamer. I personally, 2 and 4. I mean, I'm not a good pitcher in this game, but I really loved using this card. You locate that sinker and you get that forkball, and he's just incredible. This card was so good at the beginning of the year, and he still is pretty effective if he is in your bullpen today. One of the best cards in the entire game. Gives you longevity, has a sinker, that forkball is nasty, and so is the slider. And even when you mix in the fastball, it can be effective as well. That's why Raleigh Fingers is going to come in at number 8. I might get a little bit of slander for this, but number 7, Garrett Crochet, the top snout card, this free one, is an absolute beast. 120 hits per 9, 113 Ks per 9. Pretty good control, not the best. Pretty good home runs per 9. Good pitching clutch, max out break, and max out velocity. Now, even though on paper this card doesn't look great, and neither does the pitch mix, he has that weird lefty delivery where he is just so effective, and it is shown. 22 innings, 1.64 ERA, 4 earned runs in 22 innings, and 28 strikeouts, and only 28 strikeouts to 1 walk with this card. He is so dominant. Even with not an incredible pitch mix, he doesn't have any of the best pitches in the game. He doesn't have a cutter. He doesn't have a sinker. He has a fastball coming in at 102 outlier. And if you mix in that slider, it comes in at like 90. Changeup's effective. And the curveball is also really well to mix it in with that fastball. That's why I think tops now Garrett Crochet is going to deserves to be in every single bullpen at the number 7 spot. Coming in at number 6, I got 99 overall Billy Wagner. Now, the reason this card is at number 6, personally, I have no experience with this card. But this card does have outlier. Very similar, the same pitch mix as Garrett Crochet. Just, looks like the curveball comes in slower. I don't really know, because I have not used this card ever. because he's a BR flawless reward, obviously. But he has better stats, so he should at least be better than Crochet, even with the same pitches. He is just as funky as a delivery. The hits and case runs are, of course, awesome. The velo and break, awesome as well. Better to control. And he's just a better card overall. Obviously, one of the best pitchers in the entire game, but it's very difficult for me to evaluate because of the fact that he's a BR flawless reward, and I have never used him because I suck at this game. So that's why he's going to come in at number 6. You can easily make the argument that he's top 5, but he's just outside of that for me. That's why he's going to come in at 6. Kicking off the top 5, we got 95 overall, Rob Dibble. Now, you can make the argument to switch Dibble and Wagner, Dibble and Crochet, but I personally think this Rob Dibble card is better than both of them. Not because of the stats, not because of any of that, because of this one thing called Outlier 1. His fastball might be the best in the entire game. It comes in so quick, and it is very difficult to hit. You mix it in with that slider, you mix it in with that cutter, and you can have a great he's got his 3 pitches, and you might only need 2 for him to be very effective. You might only need that fastball and that cutter, even though that slider is deadly as well. Personally, yeah, ignore that. But he is, even with that ERA, I think that one of that came from 1 start. So, I mean, yeah, I'm thinking it came from 1 start. Because, look, batting average against is still obviously great. He is one of the best cards in the entire game. He is just so dominant. Fastball, so electric. And you know when he comes in, he's just going to shut a door 90% of the time. Unless they can catch up to the fastball. Even then, the cutter is still deadly. And so is the slider. But a lot of people have trouble catching up to this fastball. Even if you're sitting on it, it is still incredibly hard to hit. Especially in higher difficulties. That's why Rob Dibble is going to come in at number 5. Number 4, the best pitcher voted the hardest pitcher to hit, at least relief pitcher, in MLB The Show 20, or 99, or rolled, not 97, 97 signature series, or Roldis Chapman from the Cincinnati Reds. Max out hits and Ks per 9, max out pitching clutch, maxed out velo and break. Only bad part about this card is his control. Besides that, he is a goon. Outlier. Not just on the fastball, but also on the sinker, not sinkler. Jeez, I can't talk. Alright, anyway, 99 mile an hour sinker, 102 mile an hour fastball. Chapman just throws gas. You mix in that changeup and slider effectively, he is untouchable. I've had personally not that much success with him, but he is still a dominant card. Even if you're not locating your spots, that fastball is gonna blaze in there, and even if you're sitting on it, it's still really hard to hit. Same with Dibble, and then you mix in that slider and changeup, and when they're sitting on the fastball, they are just gonna whiff right through it. That's how you pitch with Chapman. You gotta use the pitching. You gotta use the fastball to set up the slider and changeup. You gotta use the slider and changeup to set up the fastballs. You do that good mix with anyone in the game, and they're very effective. But if you do this mix with Chapman, he becomes unhittable. The only problem with this is the control, and you leave it right down the middle, people are just going to crush it, and that's the only problem with Chapman that I can see. That's why he's going to come in at number 4 on today's list. Coming in at number 3, I got 99 overall, Rich Gossage, Goose Gossage, Signature Series card. Now, this is an event reward and another card I've never gotten to use, but what I've seen of him has been insane. Maxed out velo and break. Almost maxed out hits and Ks per 9. 41 stamina means he can probably give you 2 innings on average. Just a dominant card. Home runs per 9 I think are maxed out. Only problem with this card is velo, but besides that, go to look at the quirks. Outlier 1 on that fastball, and that sinker is still going to be coming in there extremely hot. And slurve is a nasty pitch, and so is the changeup. Now, once again, I have, like Billy Wagner, I got no personal experience with this card, so it's hard to me make a fair assessment to compare to everyone else. But I feel like he fits in pretty well here at number 3. Great card overall. Just amazing. It's just a great card. The pitches are great. The stats are on paper are great. Stamina is just incredible for a reliever. Let's check out our number 2 on today's list. At number 2, I got 99 overall, Kenley Jansen. Now, this card is one of the best in the game without a doubt, being a 9th inning program boss. Goes for a ton of subs, and he's absolutely worth it. Cutter, slider, sinker, changeup, fastball. Of course, that cutter is deadly from Kenley. Same with the sinker, same with the fastball. Only problem is All those speeds are very similar, but they all move differently, which can also be effective. The changeup and slider got a pretty good speed differential as well. Great hits and Ks per 9. Not great stamina, but it's not that big of a deal. Great control, great pitching clutch, maxed out velo and break. This card now I know some of these ERAs I having aren't great, but these cards are legit. This is the second best card in all of MLB The Show 20 as terms of relief pitchers go. Kenley Jansen, I feel like not as dominant as he was last year, but he is really, really, really close. He's still effective. Like, the only reason people are more used to him is because it's the exact same card he had last year. But anyway, we're going into the #1 closer in MLB The Show 20 right now. Call me biased, call me whatever you want. Mariano Rivera, #1 closer in all of MLB The Show 20. So hard to hit every single time I face him. He might not even have the best stats as anyone on this list. But he's the only one with over 100 walks per 9. The only person. He's got good stamina. The hits in velo, even though the break in velo, even though they're all not maxed out, they're still great. Of course, that cutter moves like crazy. Great hits in Ks per 9, even though they're not maxed out as well. Best closer of all time. Best closer in this game, in my opinion. Pitch mix is beautiful. He just executes so well, and if you know how to use the cutter, he is unhittable. The cutter moves so much, and it is such a good pitch. Now, that is why Mariano Rivera, I think, is the #1 closer in all of MLB Show 20. Now, let me know what you think of my picks in the comments down below. If you agree or disagree, please tell me what you guys think of my list for suggestions. So, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Best way to support the channel by far. And it takes like 3 seconds as long as it takes for me to tell you this. But I'm Young Gaming. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.